Welcome back to Special Stage for the final time today on day one of the historic Rally Festival at Weston Park, a venue which was last used in the RAC Rally 20 years ago, almost to the day, 1993, the last event. It used Weston Park, and I'm going to paint a little bit of a picture for you after I've given you a short bit of housekeeping, a short apology from the production team here at Special Stage. We don't have any lights. We weren't originally going to bring you this last stage live because we do have some other logistics to sort, shall we say, for the Seacon UK Rally Show and a few other bits and pieces that we're filming for afterwards. But we thought, you know what, as we're out here, we'll still bring you a bit of the atmosphere and some spot lamps and glowing brake discs and turbos and popping and banging 90s anti-lag fire-breathing exhausts. So it's all atmosphere, this, and you'll just have to forgive the fact that we're not very well lit. Just to try and paint a little bit of a picture for you. Nighttime is very much here. It's raining, it's misty. You can see the rain and the mist just hanging in the lights. As you see, Will Nichols, Nick Groom, 2007 BTRDA Rally champions in that Rally 2 Fiesta, lighting the way with the gauze in the back of that exhaust on the M Sport car. Glowing red, angrily firing flames out of the back with every gear change. 250 R5 and Rally 2 cars are out there competing across the world, winning rallies, winning championships. M Sport's most successful car to date, and a car which has taken them to the heady heights of the WRC. And at the moment, Rally 2 category on the world stage. We've got live music, live rock and roll, Go Johnny Go playing in the background with the live band. And we've got spectators lining the fences here. I can just see spectators silhouetted, crowds of them silhouetted against the lights in the family entertainment fun fair area. If I get my words out. And as I say, we will try and paint a bit of a picture as you see the cars. There's the Big Healy of Ian Thomas and Gerald Wilby. 1962 Austin Healey, a works replica, but built very faithfully and very nicely prepared. Had a good look around that car earlier. It's remarkable how small it is inside. Your knees are right up against the dashboard. Ian sort of crouched over the steering wheel, which doesn't look like there's enough space even for your knuckles behind the steering wheel before you're going to be hitting the dashboard and the various instruments behind the wheel in that Austin Healey 3000. Spot lamp pod bolted on to the nose cone. Here comes the Clan Crusader of Dan Gibson and Jeff Gibson, who sat alongside him. 1040cc full race imp engine in the back of this Clan. Not yet into view, but I think he got it all wrong on the corner where we were stood in the last stage. And it now sounds like that little Clan might just be stuck on the grass. It's going to be running aground if it has gone off onto the grass. I can just see spotlights waving around, waggling around in the distance. And there we go. I think we might just have that Clan coming into view now. No, Dan really struggling to get that Clan back onto the tarmac. Slick tarmac tyres, a wet, stately home stage here at Weston Park, and the wet grass don't exactly mix. That, I believe, is the Volvo P1800S? It is. So, did Dan Gibson get that Clan Crusader back on the road? I believe that is the Clan coming into view now. Miles Chamberlain being hunted down by the Clan Crusader, which is now back going again. But Dan will be frustrated with himself there. Just see the map light lit up inside that tiny cockpit. The world's first one-piece monocoque production car, the Clan Crusader, and that's one of the later Luff shells. Once the Clan Motor Company folded in 1973, there were various shells lying around and they got finished off, and Brian Luff, one of the original Clan men, built around 55 of them, and that is one of them. Some of them for motorsport, most of them stronger than the original spec shells. You can tell I know my Clan Crusaders, can't you? Rally winners. They took the world by storm when they came out in 1972 onto the rally scene. Roger Clark couldn't believe his eyes to see a little composite car behind him in his mirrors on the 72 Manx. And Dawson's Clan was indeed reeling in the Works Escort when the rally came to an end. Relief for Ford that they weren't beaten by this unknown little British sports car. There's the 1500 notchback of Bob Beals. Did the very first historic rally festival in 2021 in that car. Also has a 1958 yellow and black Beetle. You may have seen that on our coverage previously, not least on the RAC a couple of years ago, and that was actually before 4 years ago, actually, 2019. And Scale Extric immortalised that yellow and black Beetle by bringing out a model of it. There's that Escort Mark 1, Mexico. 19-year-old James has been chucking that thing around and keeping it on the tarmac. There's quite a few cars going off on the corner we were at the last stage. That's typical, isn't it? The grass there is going to have some patterns, shall we say. Spot lamps dancing around in the night sky, cutting through the misty rain here. Dave Harris has really been throwing that Escort around all day, hasn't he? And doing exactly the same there. I'm going to struggle to see some of these cars in this darkness, but I hope that what we're bringing you here is a little bit of atmosphere, a little flavour of the past, a little reminder of what it used to be like watching rallies in these stately home rally stages on the Lombard RAC rally. The last time Western Park was used 20 years ago in the 93 event, and 40 years ago was when, sorry, no, 30 years ago was when Stig Blomqvist won the RAC, and indeed was fastest on this stage in the Works Audi. He's back reunited with that. You're going to see lots of flames from exhausts. You're going to see glowing brake discs, sparks from the front brake pads. You're going to see gauzes inside the exhausts, fiery and angry. You're going to see turbos, if you look very closely, red and bulging inside Group B rally cars. The rain coming down very heavy now. Len Milner and followed there through by Ian and Caroline Hill. So stage 7 and 8 then come your way first thing in the morning, and we will be bringing you live coverage of those 2.3 mile stages through Weston Park first thing in the morning. Lancia Fulvia being chased down by Triumph TR7 V8. There's a soundtrack. Tim Ashton in that Fulvia. Trevor Hancock in the TR7. Just about make out Stuart Hicks and Rob Sykes there in the Motorcraft Mark II RS 2000 period recreation. I believe that will be Gwyndaf Evans in the Boreham Mark II Escort. It's wet, it's cold, and it is oozing atmosphere here at Weston Park. There's Alan Ainan with Lucy Gutteridge. Getting pointed out to me on the last live stream that in order for that car to be full Group 4 spec, it would have to have a BD A engine. Well, it's Pinto engine, but the rest of the car is Group 4 spec, so we'll go with that, won't we? I think that was Jason Lepley. It's very difficult to see in the dark here, isn't it? Tim Sawyer says it needs some martial whistles, some foghorns, and some fireworks. Well, do you know what? We've got the whistles. I can hear them in the distance. I'm not sure if you can. And we have got fireworks straight after these cars finish this stage. They're getting lined up where the spectators are. I'm not sure if you can see the spectators silhouetted against the floodlights in the family entertainment area where the live music is, but they're going to be treated to a spectacular fireworks display over the top of these rally cars. Doug Smalls enjoying watching this. There is the first of our Lotus Sunbeams. It's Kevin Knight in the Andrews Heat for Hire, I think. Michael Ollie Holborn says it's great to see the night stages. James George Watts is watching from New Zealand. Kevin Massey enjoying seeing the cars in the dark grey. Gary Mayer is watching from Cape Town. Mike Dorr watching with us as well. Hello to you if you're watching, wherever you're watching from, the service area here at Weston Park perhaps, or watching from home. Whatever you're doing this Saturday evening, I'll tell you what we're doing. We are rekindling the magic of the Lombard RAC Rally. 20 years since Weston Park last featured in the World Rally Championship. And we're just getting a bit of a look at what that used to look like. As you see, I think that's Mike Barrett, is it? in the white Lotus Sunbeam. We'll go with that. You won't be able to tell whether I'm right or wrong anyway. I'm looking forward to seeing the Peugeot 205 T16 through here, because having gone for a run through already, I could see the flames coming out of that exhaust and you could just see through the rear clam, I suppose, the turbo glowing red, just lighting up the inside of the back of that car. The unmistakable silhouette and, of course, noise of the British V8 inside that TR7 V8 of Gary G. And Chris Colville. Gary, another clan man, he's rebuilding one of the works RR Clan Crusaders for the man who owns Alan Connolly's Tour of Moore winning car from 1972. Lots of excuses and opportunities to talk about Clan Crusaders this evening here on Special Stage, which, you know, I'll take those opportunities with both hands. There's that little Fiesta XR2, little 1600 crossflow inside that Fiesta, being pedalled well by Arnaud Tortel and Chris Baines. And that's the Derek Wilkins Golf GTI Mark 1, the Monte Carlo tribute car. If you're just tuning in, this isn't the most informative rally coverage you will have seen from us today. It's also not the best if you want to see the detail on the cars, but what it is doing is giving you a real sense of the thick, oozy atmosphere here at Weston Park, as we just get a feel for what it was like back in the 70s and 80s. Here's the Stratos. John Rutter and Lorraine Nixon. But it's 250 horsepower Hawk HF 3000 Stratos replica with an Alfa Romeo 3-litre Busso V6. Done a fair few sprints, hill climbs, even circuit racing, as well as rallies over the past 30 years in that car. And here's that glorious little Mini, competing in the 1990s in the British Rally Championship and in the WRC events in 94 and 95. Network QRAC Rally, the Monte Carlo Rally. And that's Barry Pavey, Kim Wells-Burr alongside. Mentioned earlier that Barry is a double amputee but has no adjustments to that car, and he doesn't know how to pedal it well. Goodness me, it's slippery out here on this stage tonight. We saw that when we walked through to this second location. There's that super clean Mark II of Mark Butler, I believe, was that? It's very difficult to make out. We've got a few Mark II Escorts on the entry, and they're very difficult to make out from one to the next, obviously. You'll be able to watch highlights of this. There's Philo and Lucio in alongside those two spot lamp corner pods that I mentioned earlier on, and the popping and banging, the blue flame popping and banging out the back as you see the Sharons through in their 106 GTI, the Group A sounding soundtrack of that boxer engine inside the Subaru with this 90s anti-lag firing into the night sky here at Weston Park in Staffordshire. Yeah, you'll be able to watch a bit of a roundup, find out how I get on tomorrow in Dan Elsmore's Autoplas Metro 6R4, as well as finding out some of the stories of the drivers out here in the rally on the Seacon UK Rally Show in November's edition of the show. First Friday of every month. And we have got a car, one of the Escorts, Can't quite see which one that is. Parked up, having it all crossed up on this hairpin here. You'll be pleased to know Steve Chamberlain is primed and ready to give it large on this hairpin. It's the MGZR that we've enjoyed watching in action today. It's getting incredibly difficult to actually concentrate. We saw Russell Wendy Mason through there in the Escort as well. Very difficult to even scroll through notes. I've got paper notes that are too wet. I've got a phone screen that's sodden wet and very difficult to actually operate. So I'm struggling a little bit, multitasking here in the rain. Elliot Sharp, Liam Carfrey, of course, in that MGZR that we just saw. We didn't show you this last stage to show off our amazing technical ability to bring you night stages. We showed you this last stage because why not? Sometimes because you can, you should, and in this case, that fits the bill, doesn't it? That's the Mark II Golf GTI, just picking its way through this now incredibly slippery section of stage. We've lost a few cars from the entry. Sadly, we seem to have lost Mark McClelland in the Ford Motorsport Escort Cosworth. Not sure what's happened. They had its spotlights on and was looking ready to go. Very disappointed not to see that through. Chris Butcher in the Nissan Sunny Formula 2 kit car again. Absolutely gutted for him. I was looking forward to seeing him through these night stages in that kit car. Rotten look for Chris. That's the Talbot Samba. Nick and Lucy Roberts there. And we've also lost Neil Brighton in that Renault 5 Maxi Turbo, the Group B car. I'm not sure what the plan is for tomorrow. He's got the 206 World Rally car sat there on display. I'm just wondering whether we might see that out. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Elliot Mendelson as well. We missed him through this night, so I don't think we had the Delta through here either, did we? As you see, David Mathewson picking his way around this very wet and now very slippery stage here in the stately home grounds of Weston Park, the scene of many a titanic battle between world champions and legends of our sport. Nicely done there by Andy Bounds and Adam Dognini. Sounds like he's working hard, doesn't it? That Corsa Super 1600 of Carl and Rob Tour. God, it does sound good at full chat, that Super 1600, doesn't it? Something about a high revving Formula 2 rally kit car. The Super 1600 era really was rather evocative, wasn't it? As is the very rainy, very wet, very soggy, yet somehow very intoxicating atmosphere here at Weston Park. Apologies, we're just having a few sound issues. The microphone perhaps not liking the amount of rain that it's being subjected to as we speak. It is incredibly wet here now. And We're determined to give you the Group A and the Group B cars through this iconic bit of stage. So we'll keep the stream going, and apologies in advance if the rain just gets a little bit too much and we lose the sound. We will endeavour to bring you those cars through the stage though. Saw the 205 GTI of Chris Hetherington and Robinson out there. And there's the incredibly loud and antisocial Ford Sierra XR 4x4 of Ross Clements and Chris Lear, rekindling the 1989 Swedish rally car of Colin McRae's. Smell the hot brakes on that Sierra. You can probably hear on the coverage just how heavy this rain is now. It's going to be a wet, soggy end to the day. Those cars are going to look very second-hand coming out for tomorrow morning's stages. Just here, Louise Aitken-Walker getting all excited on the commentary in the spectator area. So somebody's obviously back on Dan Gibson's grass, where he struggled to get that car back, the Clan Crusader, back onto the stage earlier on. If you're just tuning in, wondering what on earth is going on, this is the Historic Rally Festival at Weston Park, and we're just bringing you a bit of live action and atmosphere as you see Steve Hartness in the BMW E30 M3. Martin Waring says, superb coverage, watching the YouTube feed. Thank you for braving the awful weather and streaming live here at Weston Park. You're welcome. It is extremely wet. Can't quite believe how much rain has fallen in such a short space of time. Warner Lewis in the Celica GT4 being chased down by Mark II. Russell Wendy Mason maybe, or is that Jason Lipke? I just can't see. But you can see the anti-lag fire breathing out of the back of that Celica GT4 being chased down by the Bastos older model Celica. There's the Proton Pert, the 2002 Production World Rally Championship winning car, still in its Safari Rally trim with its front bull bars and exhaust snorkel coming off the bonnet and going up the roof. James O'Connor watching on YouTube, appreciate the team being out there in the rain. Yeah, Wayne is doing a fantastic job actually on the camera as well. This is not easy picking out cars in the dark. Reggie on the road is coming down tomorrow, it sounds like. See you all tomorrow. Bye for now. Henry Nichols is enjoying the live action and looking forward to visiting Weston Park tomorrow for the Historic Rally Festival. You can still get your tickets online or just get them on the gate. All the details are at historicrallyfestival.com. There's Don Booth in the first of our Group B Quattros in its A2 spec. Missing a tail light, the exhaust flaming out, making up for that. You're not going to miss that car in the dark, are you? Rusty Dashcams on YouTube says, rally fans are hard fans. All weather fans. Wish they'd booked tickets now. You can still get your tickets. Come down tomorrow. We'd love to see you here at Weston Park. Michael Lawson says, anyone would think you owned a clan, Paul. Yes. Karchi on YouTube asks what happened to the Renault 5 Turbo. If you watch our live stream from stage 3 earlier, Neil Brighton had something break on the suspension and ended up off the road in that car. The RS200 of Nigel Mummery. Tricky car to steer around this slippery tarmac here in the dark with heavy rain at Weston Park. Not easy for our crews out there, but fair play. You guys are loving what they're doing, and they're out there entertaining you, and that is the brief. Look at the brakes. Sparks flying off that. Mitsubishi Evo 6 of Steve Chamberlain, maybe. So Steve was going to give us a big display on the lever, but it looked like the brakes were perhaps overheating a little bit. Sparks flying off those front brakes. You can just see sparks tumbling out of the front wheels. Those magnesium Speedline Torinis as well. You don't want to be getting too many sparks on magnesium wheels. Johnny Milner showed us that, didn't he, in a very fiery display with that Celica GT4 of his in the British Rally Championship on the Jim Clark Rally. David Wills is watching from Wellington in New Zealand. George Miko, can't wait for next year. It started now, he says, the first Legend Rally show in the UK. Yeah, it would be good to get a lot more of the Super 1600 and Junior WRC cars out, wouldn't it? I agree with you. Simon Jones watching along. There's the V8 Forenza. What the Chevrolet Can-Am car. Sounds raucous in this wet, thick, atmospheric evening at Weston Park. There's a 205 T16. You can just see the flames coming out of that exhaust, and you can see the back of that car where the engine bay is just glowing, kind of orange inside. The turbo will be bright red. Chris Townsend is enjoying the coverage. Ian Parks watching from Pituita. Gareth Edwards watching along with us. Good to have you with us, Stu Jones. Gareth Edwards. No Novas, Gareth, no. I mean, Stu McLaren had a Nova, didn't he? But he's now got that Cadet, so that's about the closest we came to having a Nova out here, isn't it? Yeah, it's a shame and quite remarkable, isn't it, not to have one. Only one Mini as well. Only one 205 GTI. It's, I can't overstate just how 90s RAC this weather is. It is absolutely tipping it down now. It is bucketing it down with rain. The microphone keeps cutting in and out, so apologies for that. We nearly got a closer look at that the Carla Sainz replica Repsol Escort Cosworth, didn't we? The big Lampard with its bumper pods on the front of that Escort, lit up by the, by comparison, quite dim headlights. And there's the third of our Celica GT4s. Talking to a few people about what this event means, and talking, as we did earlier, about the cynicism, I suppose, that existed in the UK for demonstration events like these. I know I've organised demonstrations in the not too distant past, and people sort of look at you with a wry expression. Really? A demonstration? It doesn't need to be competitive to be entertaining. We've proved that today. And just talking to quite a few people today, it seems like something has really begun. This is the third running, as you see. Another of the A2 Quattros giving us a lovely demonstration of Group B anti-lag and turbo howling as that Quattro pounds up this stately home stage. That's what happens when you chuck a Group N Subaru off the stage at the hairpin. I'm sure we just got covered in mud there as well. Yeah, you don't need it to be competitive to be entertaining, and we proved that tonight. I mean, some of these cars driven out here, we just would not be watching them in action in the UK. They're doing events in Europe all the time like this, and those events are getting bigger and bigger. And now here we are with the historic Rally Festival, bringing some of that action and some of that spectacle and the theatre that I know you guys have loved as much as we have today to UK rally stages. Rally stages that, again, wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be watching if it wasn't for this event. This Western Park rally stage would not feature in a current rally, and it doesn't have its place on the world stage anymore in the WRC. So the historic rally festival is bringing something new, something that works so well and is so tried and tested in Europe, and it's bringing it to the UK, and we are delighted to be able to bring you this live coverage. And I've got to say, the hospitality of Warner Lewis and his team has been wonderful. Such a warm welcome to us here at Special Stage. Everybody just delighted to be part of something that feels so exciting. That ex-Francois Delacour Sierra Cosworth sounds like it needs a little bit of love in service, doesn't it, tonight? Mark Brown has been enjoying the coverage today, says it's been top-notch. Thank you for that. Anthony Newton says he'll try and bring an orange S1400 Nova up next year. That'd be good. Bob Tansley's watching from Cannock just down the road with a bottle of wine. I tell you what, I might join you for a glass, Bob, after we've done this, if nothing else, just to warm me up, because I am frozen to my bones out here at Western Park. The rain has just been coming down so heavily, it's actually, it's slowed down a bit now. Oh, and that was almost... It's the Evo 7, isn't it? Another Cyclops spotlight pod. We saw that from the course of Super 1600 earlier, didn't we? They don't often get a chance to, as you see, the ex-Hannu Mikkola Fev 5H 1,000 Lakes winning Mark 1 Escort rally royalty on this iconic stately home rally stage, and the second of our Astra GSIs as well through the stage. Mark Gregory's enjoying the coverage as well. You know, it never fails to amaze me, you know. We were in two minds as to whether or not to bring you this final stage, because really all we're giving you is lights and hot brakes and anti-lag and fire out of exhaust. There's not a lot else, is there, for you to really feast your eyes on out here. It's pretty dark, and it's just freezing and very, very wet. But it always inspires me how many of you just enjoy just sitting in front of a screen and just enjoying some rally coverage with us. And, you know, I'm pleased that we did this last stage now, because we were in two minds, and it just seems like us, you've just enjoyed sampling some of the atmosphere here at the historic Rally Festival. Perhaps it has triggered a few memories of when you used to watch cars like these on stages like these. And there's the car that I will be inside co-driving in on stage 8 tomorrow morning, Dan Elmore's Autoplas Birmingham Super Prix Metro 6R4, perhaps the most famous of the 6R4s out there at the moment, having been on Top Gear and Car SOS with Dan's Autoplas Metro 6R4 YouTube channel. Really is gaining quite a lot of profile. I think that was that our 1984 world champion there, Wayne, or have we already had Stig through?
I don't know if he's been through, actually.
I don't think we've seen Stig, have we? I don't think that was Stig either. I think the Hansport Audi is in service, getting a bit of love, or perhaps he's just getting priority spot ready for the parking with the spectators for the fireworks. We won't be bringing you the firework display live, but we will be giving you a bit of a flavour of some of the other aspects to this event. Very much a festival, and they're the bits you're not seeing right now. There's live music as we speak. There's a rock and roll band in a really nice, like a yurt, big yurt marquee, all lit up, very atmospheric, playing rock and roll live for the spectators. There's a rally car show. There's a road car display. There's Gwyndaf Evans and Howard Davies Rapid Fit Escort Maxi is on display out there. There's loads of traders and food stalls, and I can see the beer sellers and the food stalls now with queues of people at them under the floodlights, umbrellas up, everybody being terribly British and enjoying a throwback to the glory days of the World Rally Championship here in the UK, when the RAC Rally used to visit Weston Park, and all of these aspects used to make up a real family spectacle. Matty Hammersley has been enjoying watching this, all tucked up dry and warm at home. It's not a bad idea, you know. Oof, that Lancia Delta does not sound very well, does it? Ian Park is loving this. He says this is simply the best. Paul Davies enjoying the coverage. Gary Burgoyne has been watching from Leeds. Good to have you with us. Jason Moore tuned in. Hey Jason, we need your McGann kit car out here. Jason Moore has a very nice Diac McGann Formula 2 car. That would suit the historic rally festival down to the ground. It's all about cars like that. As you see Craig Pennington just firing that Porsche RGT back up and getting back into the swing of things again. There's that ridiculously loud Winfield Mitsubishi Evo 3. Again, sparks flying off those front brakes. Every time he just touches the brakes, fire shooting out of the exhaust from that 90s anti-lag system. Atmosphere you could cut with a knife. It's so thick, and despite the atrocious weather, it's very theatrical and very evocative out here tonight. There's Robin Hamilton in the second of our Group B Metro 6R4s. Can't tell if that's the front spoiler waggling around or if it's the laser lamp that has got attached just above it. Jason Moore, great news. The Diac McGann will be out very soon. I know producer Wayne, I can't see him in the dark, but I know that producer Wayne will be nodding a very appreciative nod to think there'll be a Diac McGann out here on stages like these very soon. If you just tuned in, don't worry, you've not missed everything. You can go back and watch the action from today's Historic Rally Festival, and do, because especially the first stage this morning, lots of sideways. The weather broke after that, didn't it? And we've had wet weather ever since, really. And this last stage here in the dark will conclude things for tonight. And we will then bring you live coverage from how many of the 6 stages tomorrow, Wayne?
4, I think.
4 of the 6 stages we're planning on bringing you live coverage from here at Weston Park tomorrow as the Historic Rally Festival continues. 6 more stages as you see the second of our Super 1600 courses picking its way through this very wet, very slippery stage here at Weston Park now. Yeah, we'll bring you 4 of the 6 stages tomorrow, and we'll be hoping for better weather. Do you know what? We'll enjoy that firework display from the comfort of the pub, I reckon. I think we deserve a pint after this one. I'm shivering in this cold. We're getting towards winter rallies now, aren't we? It's no good, this. It's no good. We've been treated the last month or so with nice warm events. Dave Wood loves this event. Steam's up. Kimbo's watching from Newbury. Oh, that's one thing I can't bring you, and it's probably a good job. It's the cold, but the one thing I wish I could bring you is just the kind of, wow, tantalizing combination of the smell of hot rally car and the sound of rain on the umbrella. The distant sound of spectators whooping every time somebody gets it sideways and on the grass, and this will be Dick Major rounding things off for us in the DMAC Fiesta. There he is. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We brought you 4 live stages from the historic Rally Festival at Hatton Grange and Western Park today, and we will be back here at Western Park first thing in the morning, bright and early, and we booked the sunshine, he says, for 6 more cracking stages. If you do get a chance to come out tomorrow, come and spectate. The tickets are available on the gate. You can also book them online still, and just come and sample this and get a bit of a throwback for yourself to the glory days of the RAC Rally. Thank you so much for joining us today for this live coverage of the historic Rally Festival. We'll be back on special stage in the morning. We'll see you then. It's time to go and warm up.